That may be true, but... Still, you look awfully familiar. I could have sworn I'd seen you somewhere else before.
You're just gonna hear me eating over their dialogue. As Celeste studies Franz suspiciously, I realize she doesn't fully recognize his identity. But if she's an ambassador's daughter, and he's part of the Peruvian royal family, they probably encountered each other at some diplomatic event.
I think you may be mistaken, miss. I'm merely a common chivalrous rogue, dedicated to rescuing such damsels in distress as you two.
The voice acting makes you miss watching Camp Buddy? What the hell does this game have to do with Camp Buddy? We don't talk about Camp Buddy anymore on this channel. Franz ignores my burning glare and just grins wolfishly instead. Although she still looks doubtful, Celeste huffs a little and shrugs her shoulders, adjusting her hair with one hand.
Well, I'll let you two deal with him. Papa's probably word sick about me, so I'd better get back to our family suite.
Oh, my voice acting reminds you? Well, I voice act every game I play. What? And that means every video you watch of mine reminds you of Camp Buddy. Unless, that probably just means you haven't watched any of my videos since Camp Buddy. That's what I'm hearing. In which case, fake fan. She pauses, glancing over towards me with her lips pursed slightly in concern.
Be careful, Rivian. I'm going to lay low until after the party's over, and you should probably do the same. And make sure not to trust just anyone.
Celeste shoots a look over towards Franz, a delicate frown on her pale features before she shakes her head and hurries towards the door. She disappears around the corner, and within a few seconds, her lightly pattering footsteps fade into silence. Franz and I are left alone in the storage room, well, save for the unconscious man snoring in Franz's grip.
Well, let's get back to the hall, shall we? Best get our sleeping beauty here safely locked away before he wakes up, after all.
You're right. Grab his other arm. We'll make quicker progress with the two of us hauling him along. Unless you'd rather just walk ahead of me and provide a nice view, of course.
See, I don't like this. He's too daddy for me and he's just trying to get into my anus. I take a hold of the so-called guard's arm, and together with Franz we drag his body into the hallway. He's heavy enough that I doubt I could lift him myself, but Franz seems completely unstrained. We bring him into the main hall where Franz finds the nearest actual guard patrolling outside the window. Calling him inside and explaining to him what happened. The guard, who seems a little shaken and embarrassed, confirms that the man is an imposter. He agrees to take the man to the holding cells and call Linnaeus to question him, apologizing profusely for not recognizing something funny about his false compatriot sooner. With our murderous cargo safely delivered, Franz and I leave the guard's company and head upstairs, a slightly uncomfortable silence hanging between us as we return to the upper halls. Aiden route? You gotta wait for Yoshinori, honey. That'll come out in 2022, don't you worry. A burning question weighs on my mind while we walk, so I decide to bring it up rather bluntly.
I heard that you were showing a lot of interest in Celeste during the celebration. You know her?
Trying to sound as casual as possible, I glance in Franz's direction. He shoots a quick look towards me, his eyes widening briefly in surprise before his brow furrows slightly.
I know who her father is, and I'm not fond of him. I suspected she'd be involved in whatever unpleasant business was going to happen, but I thought she'd be a participant rather than a target.
Oh, for a second there, I thought, I saw the light on my camera, it was on, and I thought, I forgot the camera was on, but it's not on. Oh, that was scary for a second.
I still don't trust her, but I doubt she'll pose much of a problem. Besides, I think she likes you too much to want you killed.
You like hearing me scrape the container? Have to get all the cottage cheese. Is it my imagination, or does Franz sound a little annoyed? Did both of us get the impression that the other had taken a liking to Celeste? Well, no matter. I feel a little relieved knowing the truth, even though I shouldn't care about it one way or another. With Franz still walking at my side, I head in the direction of my room, expecting him to break off at some point to say he's going to his own chambers. And then I remember our rooms are right next to each other. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if you didn't plan that all along somehow. You're lonely? We're all lonely, bitch. Shut the hell up. You don't get a medal for being lonely. We reach our respective doors before long, and I move towards mine, clearing my throat pointedly.
Well, I should thank you again for what you did tonight. I do wish you'd be a little less sneaky about following me, though.
Oh gosh, he's getting closer to us. Franz stops next to me, gazing down into my eyes with an intense glimmer in his own emerald orbs.
You'd rather me follow you openly, then? Should I attach myself to you and keep you trapped forever in my arms?
Kuro is heavy bottom energy. You can just go fuck yourself, because I'm fucking top, you motherfucker. I have 8 inches of big-ass dick. I'm trying to say I'm a bottom. Get off this stream. Get the hell out of my channel.
No, I really wasn't implying...
This isn't any joke. Stop laughing, bitches. The larger male suddenly steps in closer, pulling me into his arms and pressing up against me until our chests are flushed together. His heavy weight pins me back against the wall and makes it so that I can do little but squirm futilely in his grip, feeling much like a mouse caught in a cat's paws.
This is the 3rd time. I swear, I'm going to report you to the guards for harassment.
Ooh, we're getting a cute little kiss scene. I growl in annoyance, but the fear and anger that filled me during our first meeting is difficult to muster this time around. One of Franz's arms curls itself around my waist, while his fingers press behind my head and run through my hair, grabbing a rough handful.
But it's so hard to keep my hands off you, kitten. Your innocence and fire are like a drug I just can't get enough of.
Yeah, he likes us just because we're young. Ooh. That's the only reason he likes us. If he were like 2 years older, he'd be like, I'm not interested. He presses closer, leaning in towards my neck. The hand at my hair pulls at my head's back slightly, exposing my throat, where Franz presses his lips to my skin hotly, letting out a warm exhale that rolls off my flesh. The sensation causes a sweet shiver to course down my spine, and my breath catches. Oh god, we're just right here in the hallway? What if someone sees us? We could get burned at a stake for doing this. This is the 1800s maybe, or maybe the 1700s. We're gonna get executed. He traces a warm, wet line of kisses along the curve of my neck, all the way up towards my ear. They're not following social distancing? Catching the lobe in his teeth, he nips it softly before dragging his tongue along the tender skin, nuzzling against me.
It wasn't my intention to treat you like this. Not at first. But after we met on the balcony, something about your spite, your stubbornness, sent me tumbling into infatuation.
1700s? It was common? Common? Girl, people were getting murdered for this stuff back then. Executed, state executed.
You just keep refusing to be caught, and I adore it. Each time you slip away will make it so much sweeter when I finally capture you and make you mine.
His low purr rumbles promisingly in my ear, and my heart starts to pound harder with each word. He sounds so earnest, so longing. But surely those words are empty. Isn't he just telling me what he thinks I want to hear?
And why exactly do you believe you'll be able to make me yours? I'm not the sort to play around, Franz.
1700s were an orgy of sex? Thinks of the fops and dandies? I don't know what either of those things are. My voice comes out soft and slightly uncertain. I can only pray to the gods that no one decides to walk down the hallway at this moment, or is listening from behind their door. I think I'd die of shame. Franz presses his lips almost ravenously to one of my flushed cheeks, bringing our mouths steadily closer together.
Oh, I don't intend to play around, kitten. I plan on keeping you all to myself. And you're a jealous little thing, aren't you? I'll nurture that until you're as possessive of me as I am of you.
How does he know I'm jealous? It's not my fault I'm unused to being toyed with. He's playing so unfairly.
Sounds like a healthy relationship. Are you going to put a collar on me too?
You're already wanting to be my little pet, are you? That can be arranged. I had no idea you were into such naughty things.
Dude's a sadist? He is. Before I can so much as mutter out a retort, Franz uses his grip on my hair to abruptly press my head forward. Smashing our lips together in a hungry kiss, hard enough to almost hurt the climax of a passionate buildup that makes me tremble a little in his arms. The resistance leaves me, and I press back against Franz a little bit, parting my lips to let his tongue press into my mouth and dance with my own. His heady taste and scent, one of mingled sweetness and spices. Brush your teeth, damn, before you kiss somebody, you nasty fucker. Floods my senses and makes me a little dazed. I could even taste dinner on his mouth. Potatoes, chives, and onions. What a delight. It's making me hungry. He presses his thigh in between my legs, entwining us together as he greedily cleans my lips with long, wet kisses, hot enough to make my whole body feel practically on fire. Spaghetti hair? What, are you calling out Rivian? His hair's he's looking fine. A delicious euphoria courses down my spine, into my hips, and an embarrassingly heated sound leaves my mouth when Franz breaks off the kiss to bury his face against my neck, biting at the soft flesh. Why are things getting darker? I know full well that it'll leave a bruise, but I can hardly say that's at the forefront of my mind. He lavishes my jaws, cheeks, and lips with several more kisses, leaving wet marks on my skin before finally pulling back a little bit. Voice still lowered in a silky growl. He's choking you out? Is that why it's getting darker? Am I losing consciousness?
I'm taking you tomorrow night to the masquerade ball. You're going to feel like a princess by the time the night's over, and I plan to dance with you more than just in the ballroom.
And you know what I really hate? When a guy's like, I'll make you feel like a princess. It's like, no, I have a penis. I don't like it when you say that. You know? I hate it when... I hate that. When they do stuff like that. Ugh. Sissification? Yeah, maybe. Is that what it's called? Maybe. I don't know, I hate that. I absolutely hate it. Turns me off so fast. Franz offers me a warm, predatory smirk, his eyes gazing into mine as if I'm the only thing of any consequence in his world at this moment.
You're awful. A princess doesn't go rolling around in the sheets with her bodyguard. You'll have to try harder.
It'd be a downgrade for you? You're a queen? Well... He chuckles softly, his fingers releasing the grip on my hair and tracing down the back of my neck slowly and longingly. At last, he gradually loosens his embrace and steps back, still watching me with that intense and unwavering look on his face.
Just you wait. I'll have you begging for me at the end of a few dances, kitten. Until then.
Franz reaches out towards the door to his room, casting a lingering gaze back towards me.
I'll see you in the morning. Make sure you dream of me, although my balcony door's unlocked. Should you wake up in the middle of the night, wanting the real thing.
Don't flatter yourself.
I shake my head at him, huffing before unlocking my own door and quickly pushing inside before he changes his mind and attacks me again. Ooh, my cat's trying to sit on me. I'm not having it. Slamming the door shut behind me, I let out a long, heavy exhale, resisting the urge to give in to my still shaky legs and slump down to the floor. I can't believe that just happened. Or more precisely, that I let it happen so easily. There have been only a few people I felt anything for in the past, but I didn't think it was possible to get swept up by someone so quickly. And the more I learn about Franz, the more mysterious he becomes. I still don't know if he's familiar with my father, or why he visited me on the first night and was so intent on protecting me. But I can't deny the warmth I feel from being in his arms, the rush of excitement that is... and the rush of excitement that is his attentions, however salacious they may be. I butchered that whole sentence. Let's just move on. To think I've gone from a self-respecting young man to gushing like a dazzled maiden in the span of a few days. Well, all I can say is that I'm quite glad that my parents didn't accompany me to this affair. You'd get disowned. After I catch my breath and recover my sense of composure, I undress and slip into bed, this time properly diving under the covers. There can't be that many hours left until morning, but I might as well catch a last bit of sleep before tomorrow. I'll probably need it, since there's still work to be done. I'm not out of the woods yet. The second murder is still going on, I think. I accidentally skipped too fast. You're gonna throw up in your mouth? Girl? Bulimia is a serious, issue. Don't make light of it. Why are you vomiting? As my eyes close, I feel the lingering warmth from Franz's lips on my skin, shivering slightly and shaking my head to rid it of improper thoughts. Excuse me, my cat is being a bitch. Give me just a tad moment. Alright. Hello, Kuro Cat. No, bye, Kuro Cat. That bitch is gone. As my eyes I already read this. It takes a little while of restless tossing and turning, but eventually the haze of slumber settles back over me, and I drift off into unconsciousness. Hi guys, what's he playing?
Chocolate.
I'm playing Chess of Blades, Quinny girl, although you said that a while ago.
Don't put that there. It tickles.
Are we having a sex stream? Why are part 4 and 5 to this route not up as a regular video? What do you mean? How many parts of this are even up? This game? I don't even know what you're talking about. A loud knocking on my door suddenly burst a bubble of my pleasant dreams. Startled awake, I pushed myself upright, blinking to rid my eyes of haziness. For Franz's route? What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you saying it's missing parts? I mean, I'm finishing it now, so that's why it's missing parts, I'm assuming. The soft pattering of droplets against the glass makes me realize it must be storming.
Coming. I'm coming. One moment.
Oh my god, he's coming. Real talk, I should have came before this stream. I was looking at some porn. Got a bit of a wee little heart on. Got all excited. I was planning on jerking off, but then I just didn't do it. I got too depressed. I pull on my clothes as fast as I can, missing a few buttons, and rush over the door to pull it open. Have I finished straight yet? No. Blue balling live stream? Yeah, something like that. Rather than the face of someone I was expecting like Franz or Silas, the person standing before me is none other than Hazel's mother, the maid, Emily.
Sir Rivian, it's terrible. I did something awful. Please help me.
Looking like she's about to break into tears, Emily bites her lower lip and stares up at me pleadingly.
Let's calm down, shall we? Step inside for a moment and tell me what happened.
I'm eating craisins now. I gesture for her to enter my room a bit awkwardly, and she hurries up past the door with an anxious nod. Oh, I really like this track. The music in this game is nice. Well, what an excellent start to my morning. A hysterical maid begging me for help. I'm sure this can only portend to great things for the rest of the day. Ew, craisins? Feed you? I mean, give you some? I'll chew up some in my mouth and spit it into yours like a mother bird. After I closed the door behind us, I turned back to Emily, frowning at her desperate expression.
Slow down for a moment, Emily, and take a deep breath. Now, what's the matter?
It's Lady Valora. She's been apprehended by the guards.
Oh no, that's my bitch aunt, isn't it? Crikey. I blink. Surely I must have misheard her. My aunt? Arrested?
Are you sure you're talking about Valora, the King's Foreign Affairs Advisor? Old stuffy lady, gruesome personality?
Yes, I am. I know you're related, and I was afraid to come to you because I thought you'd be angry, but I don't know who else to ask.
From how pale and visibly unsettled the woman is, she's clearly done something related to Valora's apprehension. It must be quite bad too. I'm not sure how else they'd have the grounds for detaining a woman of her position.
Well, I'm sure everything was just a big misunderstanding. Why did they arrest her? Glaring too angrily at the Inquisitor?
Emily swallows hard, grasping the hem of her skirt so hard that her knuckles start to turn white.
They found a weapon in her room, a knife covered with dried blood. It matches the wound on the victim from the other night, and so she's been taken in and charged with murder.
Gods. But we already know Saber did it. In other routes, does someone else do it? I wonder. At that, my jaw practically hits the floor. My old batty aunt, a murderer? Impossible. And yet, why on earth was something like that in her room?
But Cerulean, I think that knife was there because of me.
What'd you do, bitch? You planted there?
Whoa, hold on there. Because of you? I need some more details, Emily.
God, I'm gonna get diabetes if I keep eating all these craisins. She brushes her trembling fingers through her hair, inhaling and exhaling a deep breath in a visible attempt to calm herself.
Well, 2 nights ago, I was cleaning the upper halls when suddenly one of the guards approached me. He gave me a small bundle of wrapped cloth and told me it was something Lady Valora had dropped, but as she was down in the ballroom, I ought to leave it in her room when I went to clean it. I thought it was, well, a little strange, but I didn't see any reason not to trust one of the guards, so when I went to Lady Valora's chambers, I tucked the wrapped cloth inside one of her top drawers, since she is a very fastidious lady and does not like anything lying around her room.
I can tell from her crestfallen, guilty tone of the voice that she's beating herself up inside for being used to flame Valora. The other routes have different plots / crimes that happen? Gods! So then it's not Saba. We're going to have to uncover a new mystery. I'm ready. It's difficult to really blame her though. I can guess who the guard she spoke with was. It must have been right after the murder. And now that I think about it, didn't that brawler from earlier say he saw her in the hallway that night?
The thing is, I couldn't shake the horrible feeling that I got from speaking with the guard. The way he gave me the bundle and very slowly, quietly, told me to put it in her room. It was almost like he was threatening me. It made me feel so nervous that my hands were shaking on my way to Lady Valora's chambers. But I thought that if I complained about the guard to someone in charge, I'd be punished or mocked for it, so I said nothing.
She trails off into an almost inaudible murmur, closing her eyes for a long moment, her head drooping slowly towards the ground. The poor woman looks like she's ready for me to start yelling at her at the top of my lungs, as if she's some sort of puppy who just chewed up all the expensive furniture. Of course, Valora's life is a bit more important than furniture. Only slightly, though. She's a bitch.
Well, this is a proper mess, isn't it? Did you explain all of that to the Inquisitor, though? I'm sure he's reasonable enough to see it was a setup.
You know this damn maid didn't say anything. You know she's just worried that she's gonna get in trouble. Just when I thought Emily was already white as a ghost, she seems to somehow grow a shade paler.
The thing is, sir, that wasn't all they found. There was something else. A blood-stained cloth, hidden in her personal chest, which only she has the key to. I didn't put it there, and only Silas and I hold the master keys for the guest chambers, but I know it wasn't Silas. I'd sooner trust him before myself, and so Lady Valora must have known about the cloth.
Confusion clouds my mind as I parse Emily's concerned words. I still don't see how Valora could possibly be a killer of anything except hopes and dreams. That is, so why did she have something so incriminating? How did that bloody handkerchief get in her locked box, her chest? We're gonna have to solve this mystery, gang. My aunt's a smart woman. Whatever she was doing with that cloth, I'm sure she knew the risk of keeping it in her room.
I'm starting to think this was a very well-planned setup. The key is just to find who's moving all the pieces into place.
I didn't mention it aloud to Emily, but it sounds very plausible that those disciples of Ignatius are behind this too. To kill an ambassador and worsen relations even further by framing a foreign advisor for it. It's a perfect plan to force two countries into war.
I think you're right, sir. I want to see Lady Valora freed and apologize for everything. I don't know what I should do. And I fear if I involve myself too much, my little Hazel may be in danger.
The maid gazes at me pleadingly, as if expecting me to solve everything and save the day right then and there.
You've been quite helpful, Emily. Don't be too hard on yourself. I'll find a way to figure this out. Somehow.
I believe in you, sir. The king always put such faith in your father to solve every problem that came up, and I'm sure you'll become even more famous than he was.
I wince a little as my father's brought up like always. Still, Emily means well, so it's difficult to get too annoyed at her. That, and I'm pretty sure she'd burst into tears if I so much as gave her an angry look right now.
Yes. Well, that aside, I'll reach out to you should I have any questions. In the meantime, don't go taking any more parcels from strangers, eh?
Watch Camp Buddy? Whose Camp Buddy videos? My Camp Buddy videos? It better be. But frankly, you shouldn't be watching Camp Buddy. Watch some of my other videos I made. Okay? Have you watched Full Service? Don't watch Full Service. It's bad. Have you watched the Mr. Versatile demo? Watch that. That's really good.
As you say, sir. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you.
She gives me a grateful curtsy. Oh, you know what's really good on my channel? You need to watch my Seiyu Danshi playthrough. Oh, that's my best series, Seiyu Danshi. Oh, God, it was so fun recording every one of those videos. Oh, God. She gives me a grateful curtsy and hurries back to the door, quietly slipping out into the hall. Oh lord, oh no. Why are you bashing Full Service? I'm just keeping it 100, okay? I'm just keeping... Jason, should I call you Jason? Is that how you pronounce that name? What, do you think Full Service is a good game, Jason? Do you think it was well crafted? I'm left with a renewed, uncomfortable sense of responsibility, and I sigh quietly while rubbing the bridge of my nose. Full Service is unironically better than this game? What in the universe? Okay, you know, okay, Ryan, so a story written by a 4th grader is better than this game. Okay, sure. Are you still in elementary school? Is that why you think that? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Are you still reading at a kindergarten? Is that at a kindergarten reading level? Is that the issue here? Go back to school, Ryan. I'm sorry. It's one thing to look out for myself, but now I have to try to get Valora off the hook, too. As much as I tried to put on a brave face for Emily, I feel like this is quickly measuring up to an impossible task. You have 2 degrees, 1 in English. Well, honey, I don't know where you got that degree, but it might be trash. As if to echo my sentiments, distant thunder rumbles lowly, like the growl of some unseen danger. The mini-games in Full Service? Of course I hate the mini-games in Full Service. Everyone hates the mini-games in Full Service. Who doesn't? It's a bad game. Take out the mini games, and what are you left with? You're left with sex scenes and shitty dialogue. That's it. It's just a bunch of CG. Like, they could have just sold these CG sets, and that's all the value of the game. They could have just sold CG sets, and literally that's it. That's what the whole game is. It's just trying to get some CGs. You wade through like hundreds of gallons of shit to get one little sex scene. That's the whole game. I'm sorry, the truth is too much for everyone. You can't handle the truth. My stomach growls too, reminding me that I haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. The voices are hot. Girl, what voices? What voices? You mean the one voice acted scene at the very end of the game? Are those the voices you're talking about? Is that the voice acting you're referring to? Bitch, get off the channel. You're banned. Get the hell out. Fucking stupid ass hoe. My stomach growls too, reminding me that I haven't eaten since yesterday afternoon. There was so much going on that I didn't even think about it. Well, I could always stand to lose a few pounds, probably. After staring contemplatively out of my window for a few minutes, I head into the hallway, slowly closing the door behind me. Today is the last day of celebration, so it's the only chance I have to catch the murderer and clear my aunt's name. I'll try to investigate some more and find something that'll give me a hint as to who framed Valora and how. And then tomorrow, I'll finally be able to flee this hellhole and head back home to where I belong. I'm going to seriously think twice before ever leaving the house again. I make way from the guest rooms to the upper level of the main hall, hearing the chattering of voices grow steadily louder. It's a welcome change from the eerie silence of last night, so despite my dislike of crowds, I find myself actually a little relieved. When I reach the main hall, I quickly see that a number of the guests are gathered here to talk and be served elegant finger foods courtesy of the numerous servants drifting with trays. The rain outside is pouring down and doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, so the castle will probably be packed most of the day. I grab a cup of tea and some strange but delicious sweet cake that I've never seen before, and tuck into it while walking around the upper balcony. I'm hoping for a glimpse of Silas, Alistar. Who's Alistar? Or that brawler man, since they might be able to give me a few more clues. This cake is really good. As I chew the sweet sponginess with relish, my eyes suddenly catch a familiar black ponytail standing not far off. A ponytail attached to its owner, of course, whose tall, slim figure and bespectacled face I recognize clearly. Swallowing the rest of the cake, I hurry over to the table Linnaeus is furtively lurking around. When I get close, I resist the temptation to tug at his temptingly fluffy tied-back hair, and instead just clear my throat loudly.
Linnaeus! Just the man I wanted to see.
He jumps a little, whirling around to face me with a startled hand caught in the cookie jar sort of expression.
What are you doing so shadily over here? Wait a moment, is that wine? It's not even noon yet.
It's a party, is it not?
Well, excuse me, Mr. High and Mighty. If you had to detain your own king's blasted advisor, you'd be drinking your pain away too.
Oh, see, that's why he's so cute. This is why I want Linnaeus. I love him. In his hand, Linnaeus holds a half-empty glass of wine, and it looks like he was about to reach for the bottle when I snuck up on him.
Besides, I'm just getting a brief break from trying to solve this ridiculous affair. I'm not looking forward to questioning your old witch of an aunt, let me tell you.
I like how he thinks he's so much better than us, and he probably is.
Ah, at least we agree she's an awful old lady then. But I assure you, Linnaeus, there's no way she could be a murderer. You must know that.
Free is better than this game? What the fuck are these comparisons, Ryan? Free's an anime. It's an anime, Ryan. Do you know where you are right now, Ryan? You're comparing an anime and a visual novel. You dumb bitch. He lets out a heavy sigh, taking a long drink of the ruby liquid in his cup, before pushing his glasses and turning his gaze reluctantly towards me.
I can't deny the facts, Verison. The cloth hidden in her room, along with the maid's testimony of being threatened by a suspicious guard, right after you encountered that guard last night, is about as incriminating as you can get. Do I actually believe she did it? No. But the politics of the matter demand that someone is punished for this crime, or else our relations with Pruivia will grow even worse.
He sounds unusually grim for once, and I can tell that he's not happy with the position he's in. As much as I'd like to be angry with him, it's hard to hate the man for just doing his job.
The real culprit is still out there, you know. I'll be damned if I don't get to him before this celebration is over. And when I do, you're writing my aunt an apology letter.
Kuro's roasting so hard you're dying? That's because bitches be asking for it. Y'all come out here trying to act cute, and I'll fucking take you down a few pegs. You think I'm afraid of you? Bitch, I eat Twinks like you for breakfast. An amused, curious smirk crosses Linnaeus' sharp features, his eyes glimmering at me with interest behind his glasses.
Am I now? Well, best of luck to you. I've already questioned everyone involved, but perhaps you want to start with your attacker from last night, who firmly testifies that your aunt collaborated with him to murder the ambassador. Or maybe...
Oops. I'm sorry. Or maybe you could ask Valora's own ward, that boy Alistair. Who's Alistair? My eyes widen at Linnaeus' added description of the boy. Alistair, my aunt's ward? Kuro acting ghetto tonight? Honey, I am the most elegant, civilized, classy bitch to ever walk the earth. Get the fuck out of here. Well, it's true she's currently childless. Her only daughter ran away from home, and come to think of it, Alistair said something about his guardian being in a bad mood the other day, didn't he? Perhaps she took him in off the streets, and that's why she's so jittery and anxious. He's so jittery and anxious all the time. Poor fellow. Candelabra? Candelabra? Kuro is a simp for this game? Honey, how can you... You're living in a glass house! Bitch, start talking about all the reasons you like full service, Ryan. Tell me all the reasons you like full service. It's like... Jesus! You're living in a glass house, you stupid... Yeah, I can no longer recognize comments made by Ryan. Ryan is being... he's being intellectually dishonest. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's living in a fantasy world. Okay? He can't face reality. He might be schizophrenic. If I had to spend every waking hour with Valora, I'd probably be at my wit's end too.
I see. Well, I suppose I'll start sniffing out some clues then. By the way, Linnaeus, why were you giving me that odd look the other night? back when I was being detained in your office.
The Inquisitor only shrugs at that, topping off his glass of wine before turning slightly away.
Why indeed? I knew you had neither the guts nor the spine to kill a man. But if you were in the gardens during the murder, you were almost certainly seen by the true culprit.
How can you not like this game, Ryan? It has good story. Anyway, well then, see you, Ryan. See you.
I figured I could keep your impulsive self safe for the rest of the party, locked in a guarded room. But clearly, you prefer to rely on that bastard Chaumont instead. A questionable decision.
Linnaeus shakes his head disapprovingly, gaze darkening with mistrust.
Luckily for him, everyone seems to have forgotten about the nasty political affairs he was rumored to be caught up in a few years ago. Oh well, it's your reputation, Varison, and your life.
Okan was much hotter than Oki. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you that because Oki was not even. I didn't even like Oki. Did my game just crash? My game just crashed, and I don't understand why. With that markedly cool, flippant statement, he pushes up his glasses and turns away, striding briskly towards the stairs. Let's hide this. Even though my first instinct is to brush them off as petty dislike, Linnaeus' words remain ringing distantly in my ears. I have yet to hear positive things about Franz from anyone. It's difficult to ignore all this suspicion when it keeps piling up. Kuro is very open. Honey, I'm more closed off than you can imagine. My anus is tighter than... I don't know. I don't know what's tight. I eye the wine table for a longing moment. No, Rivian. Getting completely sozzled is not going to help your investigation. Taking a deep breath to stifle my self-control, I turn away and force myself down to the lower level. More importantly, I need to see a meeting with Alistair or that blasted guard. Although, there is something that I hadn't even considered before. What if, by some chance, there's still a clue around the palace of the crime? Wait, around the place. Did I say palace? Assuming that it's the gardens where the ambassador was found, surely there won't be anyone waiting to snoop outside in the rain either. It's a bit of a long shot, but it seems like one of the few opportunities... This is one of the few opportunities I have to try it. Drunk? Who's drunk? I casually make my way over towards the garden exit, trying not to look particularly out of place. Are we playing Heart of Chess? I'm gonna say no. It seems a lot of ladies brought their parasols down, expecting to go outside today, but thanks to the rain. A number of them are neatly arranged in a rack not too far from the garden door. That one dislike is from Ryan. Oh, you wound me. That's good. I make sure no one's directly observing me, then make a subtle reach for one of the parasols. They're not exactly the most weatherproof things, but it's better than just going outright soaked. Luckily, the guard who normally would have been standing by the door is standing a fair distance away, thoroughly distracted in conversation with some blushing young man. Gods, no wonder Arden managed a position in this joke of a place. I quietly slip into the gardens, hastily raising the parasol soon after to keep the rain from immediately assaulting me. Heavy droplets soon saturate my makeshift shield as I walk the same path I did a few nights ago, This time taking care to avoid standing in front of any windows for too long. Recalling what Celeste told me last night, I attempt to envision where the ambassador must have walked to. She said he'd gone further down the path from where I was standing. So if I keep heading this way, then... You're sorry? Your horniness is showing? It's okay, honey. Take it out. Whip it out. Better not be too small, though. Because I don't stand small peepees around here. No, no, no. Gotta be at least 8 inches. Otherwise, get the fuck out. When I round a corner of the garden, my eyes catch something a little unusual. You're crying? Sorry, honey. Sounds like you're tiny. One of the bushes is oddly squished, as if someone fell onto it. And the surrounding grass is a bit patchy, like some of it was kicked up or scuffled against. You don't stand on your pee-pee then, Kuro? What? I stand my pee-pee. It's 8 inches. Okay. I don't hold you guys to a higher standard than myself. Okay. I don't. Considering how meticulously well kept the rest of the garden is, I think this could be the place the ambassador fought with his murderers. Yours is 12, honey? You jest. Okay? That ain't true. If it's 12, then let's see it. Let's see your foot long. Let's see your subway penis. Okay? I want to see your subway penis. Is it $5? $5 foot long. I lower myself down into a crouch, patting the grass and squinting to see if anything else looks unusual or out of place. The parasol is starting to drip a bit, and I'm starting to feel very silly if I get caught out here with nothing to show for myself.
Oh, what's this?
Your BF is 10.5 inches? Well, honey, it sounds painful. You know, I hope you aren't bleeding every night. Hope you ain't fucking bleeding. Subway has an 11-inch? Yeah, ghetto Subway. Too bad they ain't $5 anymore. I know, right? Can we go back? I want to go back in time to where Subway was $5. That was a simpler time to live in. I don't like the world now. It's too scary. You're sitting at a proud 9 inches? Okay, guys, if you have big dicks, you gotta show them off. You can't talk about your big dick and then not show it off, okay? There are rules here. We're living in a civilized society. If you have a big dick, you show it off. When I reach inside the bush's crushed leaves, my hand suddenly brushes something that feels metallic. I take a hold of it and pull it carefully out, revealing it in my palm. A bracelet? A pretty silver one too, with fine enough filigree to make any girl jealous. It's average. Oh, I'm sorry, Alioni? I don't know how to say that, honey, but I'm sorry. Maybe it'll still keep growing. How old are you? Maybe you're just growing. Could it be that a woman really did commit this crime? How did they miss a big-ass bracelet? A big-ass... did they even investigate? The ambassador was certainly a male, and if the fake guard was the other half of the conspiracy, that only leaves one individual left. I don't see how it could be a girl, though. Celeste, Emily, Valora, Hazel. Although, come to think of it, this bracelet looks awfully familiar. Haven't I seen Valora wearing this? You're 19? Honey, you're still growing. You're still growing, okay? One day you'll have a big, big Subway tuna mill dick. And it's gonna be delicious. I love getting the tuna. That's the only thing I get at Subway, the tuna mill. I haven't been in like a year. A sudden rustling noise makes me jerk upright. My heart skips a beat and I slowly step backwards, lowering myself a little. I thought no one would come out here in this weather. Your dreams of being versatile is crushed? Poor baby. I hold my breath, not daring to move an inch, praying for whoever's there to go away.
Kitten, is that you?
Oh, Franz, daddy. A wary voice calls out to me. I cannot deny that I'm acting ghetto tonight. Well, denied. Ugh. Moments later, a tall figure steps out of the bushes and approaches me, shaking his head. You see, you're too ghetto to know when someone's acting classy. That's the issue here. You're the ghetto one. You're projecting your ghetto-ness onto me. Ghetto
Franz.
rat.
Whew. You just about gave me the scare of my life.
Do you care to explain why on earth you're skulking around in the rain, holding a lady's parasol and a bracelet? You don't cross-dress on the sly, do you? Come to think of it, I'd love to see you in a skirt, if I'm being honest.
Stop feminizing us, Franz. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, Franz. You love Kuro's voice, it's so wild, and you love that energy. Oh dear, thank you. Bless thee. I barely managed to resist the urge to crack my soaked parasol over Franz's head, and instead just glared his delighted smirk.
Ignoring your bizarre conclusions, I was looking for any clues that could help out our search.
Oh. Franz's eyes light up at that, and he saunters closer, his large boots sinking slightly into the soaked earth with each heavy step.
It seems my clever little kitten got a step ahead of me. I was planning on coming out here earlier before I heard about that unpleasant business with your aunt. You did get the news, didn't you?
When I nod grimly, Franz rubs at the back of his neck with a hand, shaking his head sympathetically. Kuro's voice is better than Bob Ross? Bullshit. Bullshit. I love Bob Ross's voice. I fall asleep to it on many a night. Ugh. I love his voice. I wish I could have married him. 5 inches is average for an Asian. You could have gotten worse luck. You're only 5 inches? That's okay. Bless thee. You're fine just the way you are. You're perfect just the way you are. Besides, Asians are cute, so, you know, you're good. Don't worry about it. Raindrops have matted his dark hair to his forehead, and the water streams down his tanned features in a way that serves to make him look even more exotic.
I found this bracelet, actually, and it reminds me of one Valora wears. Which is, you know, not very helpful with the whole proving her innocent business.
I show Franz the bracelet, and he frowns thoughtfully, rubbing a hand against his cheek.
Not a very encouraging sign. I doubt they'll let you ask her about it, considering she's locked up for questioning. But there might be someone else who could tell you if it's the same one.
What's my thought on James Charles? Girl, I never watched James Charles. Not even once. I have no thoughts on him.
Doesn't look like there could be many other clues here, though. And the rain has probably ruined any residual evidence that might have been left behind.
I can't help but study Franz as he leans down by the bush, scanning keenly through the grass. My reading skills are dropping. They're dropping fast. He carries himself with a practiced calmness, like he's done this sort of thing a number of times before.
Have you investigated a lot of crimes in the past? It seems like a strange activity for a member of a royal family to be involved in.
Aiden can choke you? Damn, sister. Franz pauses, shooting me a look of shock. Oh, that's right. I didn't mention I knew he is Peruvian royalty. Oh, did he not tell us yet in this route? I feel like he told us already.
Ah, Silas mentioned your bloodline the other day. I wasn't sure why you kept it so hush-hush.
He gradually pushes himself up to his feet, pursing his lips for a moment. Franz really doesn't like talking about this, does he?
Well, I'm not exactly proud of it, nor am I very welcome in Peruvia any longer. Although I have no desire to go back.
His grim tone catches me off guard. He seems unusually vulnerable right now, and I wonder if this might be my opportunity to learn more about him. Oh my god. How do I save? Let us save the game. Alright. Do you guys think that is enough Chess of Blades for today?